Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Yuma Seen. Today's episode, we are joined by my good friend Austin German. This will be the first episode of a Zoom series. I'm trying some new stuff out on Zoom. I'll be talking to Austin right here, and I'm going to have his little thing. But I wanted to film a separate introduction because your boy's a dummy. And when I started the original recording, I didn't press record on the mic, so the audio isn't the best. I want to go ahead and say the Zoom stuff is kind of difficult on a technical part, so I apologize for any audio and video mishaps. But we tried our best. We're gonna learn, and we're gonna evolve from this process. So, but you don't learn and evolve unless you try and you start. So. This is going to be the first episode of a Zoom podcast. Like I said, we have our good friend Austin German. Austin German is a good friend of mine, and like I said, he's an author, skateboarder, and he was a really big influence and a big help on the origins of this whole Yuma Seen project. He was the first one that I was able to make a little short documentary video on when he first started his what's the word I'm looking for? His journey as an author. So, I appreciate him giving me the time and just his effort towards helping me create this brand that is Yuma Seen. So, I've known him for a long time, and he's really been a huge influence on this brand and this podcast. So, without further ado, here is the Zoom podcast with Austin German. Thanks, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Yuma Seen. This episode is a very special one. It is the first of its genre. It is a Zoom podcast. I don't know what the results are going to be. I tried my hardest. I dotted my I's, crossed my T's, and we have a very special guest. And I think it was only proper to bring this person back because he is a good friend of mine, an author, a skateboarder, and somebody that has helped me from the beginning of this whole Yuma Seen project. His name is Austin German. What is up, my dude?
Not much, man. Hanging in there in these crazy ass COVID times.
I mean, we haven't kept touch as best as I could, just as like everybody on social media, but it's just like, hey, what's up here, supporting each other. But so for you, obviously you used to live here in Yuma, and we grew up skating with each other, and you went off and to do your own creative endeavors. But where are you living right now?
I'm currently in Everett, Washington, Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. And then you moved, and then how long ago did you move over there again?
2.5 years, almost 3. It was something else, dude. I tell you, I don't think I'd do it again, but I love where I live now. So, but yeah, just the drive, dude, from Yuma all the way up here was like 4 days.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And I hooked up a U-Haul at the end of my Jeep and just went for it.
Yeah. So what made you want to move all the way? I forget, man. I feel like I'm just meeting you again because I haven't talked to you in so long.
Yeah. Well, it's a super long story, but just, so I met this girl. She had family up here. She wanted out of Yuma. I wanted out of Yuma. So we kind of just went for it. We didn't work out, so I just stayed. That's the gist of it, not the whole long agonizing,
So did you never thought of coming back, or you kind of just ended up enjoying it over there?
I ended up enjoying it. I mean, before COVID hit, we have a really good economy up here. So to kind of get into a little more of the detail of it. So obviously I was a delivery driver the last time we talked for Lowe's, right? So down in Yuma, they decided to go third party, which meant that I wasn't going to be a driver anymore. So I was kind of just not like a dead end position, but it wasn't something that I wanted to do with Lowe's. And I saw an opportunity to move, and I transferred. So I had a job up here with Lowe's before I even had a place to live. So it was like, hey, you got 3 days, you got to be here, or 4 days, you got to be here on Tuesday at 6 a.m. So you coming? Oh, yep, I'll be there. So we I got in the U-Haul, put half of the stuff from my house. The rest of it's all in storage still down in Yuma. But
Oh
yeah,
shit.
so I came up here, was a delivery driver for up here. I mean, driving a 26-foot truck in Seattle is no joke, man. Like it was it's funny because in Yuma, people say, "Oh, snowbirds," and like, "Oh, these fucking North people suck." But no, everybody up here just sucks at driving, dude. Super nice people, but every car has a ding, and it's like, "Oh, that's a stop sign. Nobody's there. I don't have to stop. Is that a curb? Oh, I'm gonna hit it." Like it's just everybody, dude, not just old people.
What do you think
Everybody.
it is about the driving over there in Washington that makes everybody a shitty driver?
Well, for one thing, nobody's really in a hurry. So, like, I'm used to driving in Phoenix, Los Angeles, Hollywood, California, Colorado on all the trips I've ever gone on. And up here, it's just like, oh, well, we're enjoying the woods. We're just going at our own pace. And then when winter comes, like, there was ice on the ground this morning and stuff. So, I think people just have gotten used to going slow. So,
Uh, and for
yeah.
somebody like you mentioned, being from Yuma, I mean, there's a little bit of a rush, but not as much as you're explaining. And then also in Phoenix,
Mhm.
it's the complete opposite, the most
Dude, for
rush.
real. Like,
Like, do you
if you're
enjoy
on a
it or?
bike, you better watch out, dude. Nobody watches for you in Phoenix, dude. You get
Oh,
hit
you're
all the
so dead.
time.
Even here, man, like, you'll be driving down, and I'm actually one of those people too. Like, even though everything is about 5 minutes away, you're still kind of like in this weird rush, like, get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah.
But I mean,
So it was a positive thing for me, even if the circumstances turned out to be negative, because my pay went up big time up here, and Lowe's has been really good to me. So when we broke up, I didn't know what to do because having Titan, it was really hard to find a place to rent. So I had to leave the apartment because we were broken up. And I went down to my landlord and I said, "Hey, I don't have a place to live. Do you have anything available?" And she was like, "Well, I have a 2 bedroom. If you can find a roommate within a month or two, if you just give me $500, I'll hold it for you. You can move in tomorrow, but you're just going to have to make up the rest at the end of the month." I was like, "Oh shit. Okay, cool." So luckily I went to the skate park down in Kenmore and I met my buddy Hunter, who's my roommate now. And yeah, we became friends, and now his girlfriend and him just bought a house, and now I'm renting a room from them. So
Oh, dude, that's tough.
yeah.
You always gotta be thankful for your homies, especially ones like that.
Yeah, for real. Cause I was like, man, what am I gonna do? Like I do not want to go back to Arizona, man. I mean, northern Arizona I like, but just growing up in the South, dude, I want to experience all this. I need the trees. And then like you go south a little bit, we have the ocean.
Oh,
So
hell yeah.
it's badass.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
like, that's the Northwest, right? Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say because that's super different from what we experience over here, being from like the Southwest and going to like California and like San Diego.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Super different vibe.
Yeah, and a lot of people they're just friendly, man. It's so crazy. Like this all like the drive up here through Oregon, but then right when I got into Washington, people are just like, "Hey, how's it going?" and super nice. I mean, COVID kind of put like a damper on people's spirits, but honestly, everybody up here always looks out for each other, and there's really no big issues. I mean, there's a lot of like meth up in North Everett, not really where I live, but
Yeah.
that's going to be anywhere. You're going to have stupid crap like that. So
Yeah. No, because for you, like you grew up in over here in Arizona, right? Like you never lived anywhere else.
yeah, I was born in Fresno, California.
Okay.
The gang started getting so crazy, so my mom and dad wanted to move to where my mom's parents were, which was Yuma. And then yeah, I've been there ever since 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How crazy, man. Yeah, I was gonna say
yeah.
because hold on one second. I think we're good. I had not been recording on this thing, so I was like, I fucked up.
Oh shit.
I know. I don't know if I want to restart it or what, but I don't know. I think we'll be good. I think it'll just
All right,
recut. Fuck
no
it.
worries. Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
fuck it. We'll
want.
just keep going. I'll cut that
All
part
right,
out. But
cool.
I mean, yeah, like for and for somebody, as we grow up, like we grew up skating together and we were friends, and being from here, it's and as you grow up, people move away, and it's kind of it's kind of interesting because, people take different paths. And I know for you, you grew into this, you grew into this, this, uh, this passion for writing. And
Yeah.
it kind of took you, this is kind of where it took you, which is awesome, because the last time we spoke, and I was explaining in the pre-podcast thing that I do, that you were one of the first people to help me out with this whole Yuma Seen project. And that was right around when you were writing Perennial Harvest. And I remember we went to your house here in Yuma. We did the
Oh
whole like
yeah.
interview. We did like the whole little, and that was on Instagram. It was only like a minute long. Remember that?
Yeah, that was tight though.
Yeah, that
All
was
the
fun.
font and the music and yeah, that was
Yeah,
badass.
it was totally, and that was like before Instagram limited your usage of music. Remember the copyright shit?
Yeah,
And I was able
and
to
then
use a
all the
Led
new
Zeppelin
it was
song.
before the new algorithm and crap too.
It's such bullshit. And
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
I was able to use that Led Zeppelin song for you, and I was like, oh, this is tight. Like this is
Hell
this
yeah.
whole
Yeah.
experience. But
Dude,
that was,
so many people told me that was me 100%, man. They were so stoked that no quarter was playing, dude.
yeah, and just the vibes,
Yeah.
dude. And I was like, oh, this is cool because when you wrote that book, it was fun for me because that was kind of like the whole point of like the Yuma Seen thing. Was I was like, okay, let me take these people who I think are super inspiring and rad, and then from my area, because at the time, I was living in Phoenix, you were here, and you were making this book, and I was like, dude, let me just share the stories for people because I have these abilities, and it's same thing, different medium, but fast forward to now, and you're on your
Dude,
new book.
what a journey though, dude. Like just thinking about that, so much has like
Changed.
changed. I've grown a lot more in my writing and experienced some craziness. I mean, it's no cakewalk, dude. And I'm thankful even to be on here and have you as a creative support too. Cause I mean, you
Yeah.
can't do this stuff alone, dude. Definitely can't.
No, man, and people think like creative endeavors are kind of like a solo effort, but it kind of takes a community. As far as there's parts in it that are involved, like kind of some solo time and some time to yourself, and just some just to be separated from everybody. But from you, I wanted to talk to you because I wanted to hear a little bit about from Perennial Harvest to now, like what is the process and what was the inspiration behind this new book, and tell me a little about it.
Okay. Well, so I was finishing up Dead Diaries right before moving up here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until moving up here, like I said, where I was able to get a little bit of a pay increase. I was able to like put stuff aside. So I ended up going to Rock and Shock over on the East Coast in Massachusetts. And it's a convention that I've gone to twice. And then the third time I ran, I got to vend my books there. And I was kind of nervous because I was like, okay, I know Perennial Harvest is good. Dead Diaries is great, but the covers aren't that good. And then I wrote one kind of fast called Lunar Dreams, which was like a representation of what I had gone through during a really bad breakup with somebody and their demons, and me fighting my own demons. And I needed to get that book out there. So I did. And then I took those two, Dead Diaries and Lunar Dreams, it's called, over there. And somehow, man, like, I mean, Amazon screwed me up because the covers were kind of damaged and I was still there and I was presenting myself. And you could tell walking past my table, they're like, oh, he's self made. But like, not that I was the ghettoest looking table, but I knew I was like, dude, like, I'm at this big ass convention and I'm like, I flew all these miles from Washington. Like, like I was nervous. But then when the horror community reached out to me, they came over, shook my hand, took pictures with me. I took 60 books and I sold 28.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, I was pretty stoked. I also met That Strange Show podcast, Angel and Ryan and Mandy that run that. And then Evil Lance, he's an artist. And then Studio Catoween was a table across from me. And just through making those connections, becoming friends with them, led me to discover an artist named Oscara, who did the cover art for my newest book called The Feed. So I was grateful and happy that I was able to do my first convention where more people showed me the most love compared to bookstores shutting the door on my face. So it was like a crazy journey because first I had moved up here with a girl that I thought was going to work out, but kind of like knowing in the back of my mind, like, man, I'm crazy. you live once, so this
Yeah.
is what I want. I want out of Yuma, so I'm gonna do it. So I did it, and then that all happened. So in the feed and Lunar Dreams, but really the feed, there's parallels between addiction and depression, and it has to do with a lake monster, but also like a sex cult. Like it's
Holy
really,
shit.
yeah, it's really crazy, dude. But it's a short novella. It's like 150 pages.
Okay.
But all those experiences led to me finalizing it and finishing it and meeting those people to help me out in my journey to be a writer, because without a good cover, I knew I was risking it, man. That was the biggest thing I was worried about. I was like, my writing speaks for itself. Everybody praises it. But if you don't have a good cover, you know, and I'm completely like illiterate to tech stuff, dude. So like just the other night, Angel was on the Skype with me, walking me through formatting my new book and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's been crazy, man, trying to
It's
just do all of
interesting.
it.
It's interesting hearing you speak about that because those are things that people really wouldn't consider, being a writer like yourself. Like you can
Mhm.
do as much as you can on the writing end, on the literature part, but like you were saying, if the presentation isn't there, it can be kind of difficult. So when you were talking about when you had those books, is it like were the books like physically damaged?
Yeah, so like on Dead Diaries, the freaking color scheme they fucked up and it looks all smoky. So then my dad, who was at the convention, was like, "Oh, that's kind of cool, man. Don't worry, it's all smoky and kind of like sinister." And I was like, "Dude, it looks like crap,
This
but
looks like shit.
I'm here, so whatever." Yeah, so and then actually, one of the authors, Sam Merizzadino, I hope I don't butcher his name,
Yeah, he
but
knows.
we became friends at the very first Rock and Shock that I went to over there, and we've kept in contact for so long. And he's an author. He does adult kid books called "If You Give a Bear a Bong," and like Prince of Pieces was the first one I read, where Jesus comes off the cross and kills people and
Oh my
stuff.
god.
Yeah, so he's a pretty cool dude, and he's helped me a lot and has encouraged me, and just all those guys on the East Coast have really helped out. And then it's weird because in Washington, me and another author, Matt Shaw from the UK, we were supposed to do a convention in Oregon, and they canceled it and took all our money and fled. So that was, yeah, that was kind of screwed up. So it's interesting that I met all those people over there and have become great friends, but it's harder to find a horror community on the West Coast. But I know it's here, and it's kind of like COVID shut it down, because they have a big convention in Seattle, Crypticon, that I've been trying to get into. But I mean, it's crazy, man. Those table spots open up and then they're just gone instantly.
So were those conventions that was a big networking opportunity for you?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like they read it and they reach out to me like, "Dude, where are you from? Like, I can't believe you wrote this. Like, you're so good. Like, come on, man." Like they're all on board. We all love each other, dude. The horror community is one of the best communities I've ever
Yeah.
been a part of, that I didn't even know I was gonna get to be a part of just starting out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cuz I
I
was
had
going
no
to
goal. It was just me writing. I just wanted to write. I didn't really have an end goal in my head. It was just to write.
yeah, and so this new book that you wrote, you said was a lot of it was inspired by your previous experiences?
Yeah. So it's about a guy, a musician who has a troubling past, both him and his wife. They decide to leave Los Angeles to move up to Slumberland, Washington, which is a made up town, but I base it off a town called Carnation for any Washingtonians that are listening. And so slowly but surely, weird stuff happens, as usual. But his son gets kidnapped, and then he starts to uncover a secret and a conspiracy that the town's ancient religion is like founded on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the addiction part of it is like him being a musician dealing with like substance abuse, but his wife at the same time was sent to without giving too much away, she had to go get like um an asylum and stuff and get doctors to look at her because she was talking all crazy about aliens and stuff. And
Yeah.
the other side of that was there's a teacher who has a very bad alcohol problem and is bulimic. And so I blended all those together to give all these characters more depth, and hopefully we all have struggles and demons, so hopefully the reader can relate to the characters, and that's what I was really shooting for with this story.
So it was a lot of the, the struggles and the adversity you're talking about with your characters. A lot of that stuff is based on, it was a lot of it based on the things that happened to you, or things that, that you experienced by talking to other people.
50-50. I obviously aren't really big into alcohol, never really have been. I mean, I love Jameson and, wine and shit, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't go out of my way to get tore up to make myself feel better because I'm depressed, or um I guess I can put it out there. I mean, it's cool. We haven't talked in like a year and a half, and
Yeah.
she has already told people her problems. But my ex was a raging alcoholic, and she didn't get angry. It wasn't really rage, but it was to help her eat because she had an eating disorder.
Oh,
And so it took my life for a spin, realizing that these are real struggles with people and you have to be there for them. And I would get her like her favorite food, but make sure it was a small portion and everything. And I would make sure that she was comfortable. I mean, I was doing everything that I could to help her and not judge her and not tell her, like, hey, like, you need to go to the doctor.
yeah.
It wasn't until she overdosed twice where I was
Shit.
like, all right, like, I'm out, because she would drink really hard so that she would be comfortable enough to eat. And I guess I don't have any of those issues, and I don't want to speak for people that do, but I guess from what I learned being with her is she had to that's the only thing she felt she could control in her life was her weight. And the minute that she couldn't control that, her whole life spiraled out of control. But it came from stuff of her upbringing, just like all of us have different upbringings and we have to learn to deal with the past. So it was an eye opener, and she's a great person. We just didn't work out. It was too much for both of us, like somebody that doesn't want to get better with somebody that is trying just to be there for them and be there for their daughter as well. I mean, I took on a lot, dude. I mean, a lot of my close friends were like, man, you're crazy, dude. You're moving up there with somebody and their daughter. And I was just like, we make decisions and we had to stand by them. And this is what I wanted. And it turned out to be very great. It turned out to be positive, even if elements of it were
We're challenging.
negative.
And so she
Yeah.
has a daughter, you said?
Yeah, she does.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Man, well, first off, A, that was heavy. B, I appreciate you
Sorry.
sharing that. No, 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 don't say, did you say sorry?
Yeah, man. I
Don't
didn't
say
mean to
sorry.
bring down
No,
the mood.
no, man.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, me, I love, I'm not going to make anybody share. I had no idea that was a thing. And, and I don't want to say unfortunate, because I think you and I both know that, experiences aren't really bad. They make you who you are now. It just, it hurts
Yeah.
in the moment. But honestly, I appreciate you sharing that with me, because I think, a lot of us know, everybody knows somebody who's dealing with some sort of addiction, and it kind of holds and grips their life in a way that people that don't have addictions like that couldn't understand. People do it with
Mhm.
people do it with drugs, people do it with marijuana, and people do it with alcohol, like it. And for people like you and I that don't really have a strong pull, maybe caffeine, sex,
Yeah.
who knows, but like
Yeah.
people get pulled in these things that that don't understand. So you know, when you were telling me that story, it was really interesting because, we all know, people come in my mind, family members, people that I know that that do through that have to go through that, but for somebody like you in that situation, maybe somebody that's listening to this, like, at what point did you decide, okay, you know what, we need to like separate, and I can't help
So
this
the big,
person.
so
And,
the biggest issue was even before I moved up here with them, she had gotten really trashed one night, and it was hard for me to experience it because I thought at first that it wasn't bulimia until like I woke up to go to work one day, and she had thrown up in the bathtub, and she had sleepwalk or whatever you call
shit.
it, picked up my TV and put it on the stove and almost broke the PlayStation, everything, like walking in her sleep. And she was always falling over Titan and everything
Oh,
because
poor Titan.
she couldn't function unless she had alcohol in her.
Damn.
So we still moved up here and everything. And I kept telling myself, like, no, this is good because you're First off, it's a big benefit for her daughter to be around family that is up here in
Mm.
case anything ever did really, really happen to her mom. So one time I sat down with her and I was like, "Hey, so you need to I'm not trying to be a father figure necessarily or try to tell you how to be a mom, but like your daughter is 12 years old, 11 years old. You're not going to get these years back with her. And I know because I come from a split family and from a divorce and all this other family
Yeah.
stuff and that most families deal with. No family is perfect, and if you are, well, I don't think they exist. But
Yeah.
so she's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I guess I'll start taking her to dinner every Monday." And I said, "Yes, just you two go out, do girly things, spend time with your daughter. That's excellent idea." So she goes out and goes to dinner and comes back and she has all this beer in her hand. And I was like, "Okay, what are you doing with beer? I thought you said that you were trying to quit or slow down." "Oh, it was on sale, and
Hello?
I'm trying to quit
Oh
smoking too,
shit,
so
looks
I
like
have the
I don't think I can hear you,
patch
dude.
on."
Oh yeah. Let me see.
Oh, what happened?
Might have clicked something. You're good now though.
Oh, okay, cool. So
Okay,
she's all,
sorry. So
"No, I'm
you're
wearing
saying like them
my."
go out.
Okay. Yeah, she went out with her daughter and then came back and she had beer in her hand. So I was like, "Okay, I thought you said you're going to try to cut down a little bit or that you were going to stop." "Well, it was on sale and I have the patch on too to quit smoking for us. So I'm trying to do that." And I said, "Okay, I'm not going to fight. You got to pick your battles."
Mhm.
So she starts to go in the bedroom and gets undressed or whatever and is all laying in there. And I'm just out writing on the laptop, mind my own business. And then she gets up and almost stumbles and falls into the hallway of the apartment, goes in the bathroom and starts like violently vomiting, dude, like
Oh
just
fuck.
vomiting. And she's all, "I don't feel so good. You need to call somebody." And I was like, "Well, who do you want me to call? Your mom? She lives an hour away down in Kent. Like what do you? I'm gonna call the paramedics." "No, don't call the police." I was like, "It's not calling the police. I need to call the paramedics."
Call the fucking police. Call the
And then
popo.
she starts shaking, right? And there's all this vomit on her, and then she starts shaking.
Ah, man.
So I get her back in the bedroom. She's like, "I need to lay down. I need to lay down." And I said, "Okay." So I lay her down, and then she goes, "Just call, just call." So I end up calling the paramedics, and then she starts like shaking, dude, like going crazy. And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" Like that my home, I was calm, but in my head I'm just like, "Fuck, like this is insane." So then she falls off the bed, and I don't know if you've ever had a dead weight before, like to lift somebody up that's in that moment of crisis.
Yeah.
So I told her daughter, man, I was like, "Hey, I feel really bad. I need you to come in here and help me lift your mom on the bed." So she does, and she's like, "Is my mom gonna be okay? What's going on?" I said, "Yes, she has pulse, everything is okay. I need you to take Titan into your bedroom and stay there." And then I was on the phone with the paramedics at the same time. And I said, "I don't know. She's convulsing. I think she had a lot to drink. I'm not sure." They considered it overdose. They thought she was on drugs. So the
Oh.
paramedics show up, and she gets on the gurney or whatever, and they have to carry her out because she can't function. Like she legit is just like her body's shutting down. So then I call her mom and let her know what's going on so her mom can meet us at the hospital. And then I take her daughter to the hospital as well. And come to find out, I asked her daughter, I said, "What did she eat or drink at dinner?" "Oh, she had some those Bloody Mary drinks." And I said, "Well, how many of those?" "Well, I don't know, maybe two or something." I was like, "Oh, okay. I mean, that's not that much, but okay." And I was like, "Did she eat anything?" And she was like, "No, she didn't eat anything." And I go, "Okay, so
That's it.
that's what
Yeah.
yeah." So then we get back the hospital report and everything. She had overdosed on a nicotine patch. So with no food and all that alcohol, and then she had a weed in her system as well. She put on 40 some milligrams or some god awful amount of the patch, like 3 patches onto her body.
Yeah.
And the rush, she overdosed on the nicotine patch.
Oh shit.
And I just told her, I was like, "You know what? Either you stop drinking now and seek help, or we're done." And sure enough, a month later we were done.
Yeah.
And it sucks, but I really hope she's doing good now. But, people have to change for themselves. You can't change people. You can be there for them. You can be understanding, but I wasn't totally understanding until it was actually in my face, like seeing somebody push food away and start crying because they're scared of eating food because of their weight. Like it's a psychological barrier that was so intense, so eggshell like 24/7. And
Yeah.
it might sound selfish, but sometimes you have to be. I could not deal with that, man. It was really, 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 really difficult because I feel like now as we're older, like I'm going to be 30 in February, and like getting into a relationship, it's like you have to be happy by yourself, and then that person adds something to your life and you grow together. There
I think your
shouldn't be
audio.
some type of
Let me
um
see.
people that bring you down or codependency or anything like that.
Can
Can
you
you
hear
hear
me?
me? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Sorry, you were
Oh, shit.
saying, being in a relationship, being by yourself, you have to be happy with yourself.
Yeah, happy with yourself first, and then when somebody comes in, they bring something that both of you can grow together. They enrich your life, not codependency or bring you down all the time.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you sharing that because I think for a lot of people, relationships are tough, and I agree with what you're saying because um, I 100% believe in what you believe in and support what you're saying when it's like it should be somebody that enriches your life and isn't wanting to change you even. It's somebody that it's somebody that
Yeah,
and enlightens and uplifts your life and makes it better and necessarily doesn't really make it harder. I think that when you get into a relationship, emotions are so high and then that can wear off and then you start to really understand who somebody is and it's really hard for people to want to like break that off or even admit that like people grow apart.
oh yeah. Because
So
people change every day. You have to have room for growth. You're not the same person that you were yesterday or last week, and you're not going to be the same person tomorrow because it's a constant journey of learning.
yeah, for
I always try to
you,
tell people like none of us asked to be here, so we should all just try to get along. Like I'm thankful I was born, but I didn't. None of us asked to be here, and we're all over here fighting and being shitheads half the time.
yeah, I know. And like a lot of stuff too, man, even, on a personal level, I've been trying to, I did a podcast. The last one I did was a very emotional one because there's some like mental hurdles that I'm trying to get over, like with resentment and
Hmm.
just anger and shit. And I'm like, and I admitted on that podcast, like, dude, I can't fucking help it. This is just like who I am. Like, I'm trying to not be an asshole, like while this is happening, but like it's hard. And this is me trying to just, put efforts. But I think a lot of people, and including and I try not to say a lot of people because, usually it's like you and another person. But
Yeah.
I try to I think it's easy for me to my ego to get in the way and not like to admit that I can't handle the situation right now or like or I just don't understand and lately I've been trying to just be a lot more vulnerable in that sense and be like I don't know what's going on and I need time to just figure it out you know
Hmm.
but like
And
I'm
time is a killer, man. It can be like a good thing. It can help or it can definitely destroy. Time is very brutal.
yeah. So, after that experience, is that what really fueled the inspiration for that's what fueled the inspiration for the book?
Yeah. So like this book here,
There
Lunar
it
Dreams.
is.
Yeah. So basically, it's like romantic horror because there's like poems in it, but there's also like three short horror stories. But each one has a love um, metaphor in it. So like the first story is about a haunted mattress
Oh
that
shit.
if anybody that has sex on it, the demon comes up and takes you to hell.
Oh hell
You
no.
know, yeah, yeah,
Oh hell
and
no,
then it's
Austin.
like, yeah. Then the second story is about I'll just get personal on this. I don't care. Most of the time, everybody knows anyway. But so the second story is called The Web. And it was about, I got the idea from being on deliveries down there and driving past this one house. And it was this girl's house that I always liked, dude. I mean, she was amazing. And she's the one chick that would probably do anything for if she needed anything, I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm there for you. We're really, really good friends. But I always had a crush on her. And, when you're young, like I think I was a sophomore maybe, when we met. We dated for like a month, but
Yeah.
as time, like we're talking about time, time just decides different paths for people. And it was funny because one day on deliveries, I was delivering to this house and I was installing the washer and dryer and all the normal stuff that I do. And there was a knock or a door. Yeah, there was a knock first and then a ding dong. And the old lady was like, hey, can you answer the door for me? And I go, what? This lady wants me to answer the door? Okay. Maybe I mean, I don't want to sound disrespectful saying old, but I thought maybe she was an elderly woman and maybe she just needed help answering the door. I had no idea who she was. Right.
She a geese.
So I go to the door and I open it and that chick is standing there.
Oh shit.
And I go, what? I go, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. She gave me a hug. She's like, what are you doing at my grandma's house? I was like, oh, I'm delivering. Like I'm the delivery driver, remember? And I go, what, really? So yeah, she hugged me and she's like, oh, this is my husband, blah, blah. I go, oh, hi, nice to meet
Oh,
you.
damn it.
And yeah, so then I left and then I got the story idea for the web about a chick that keeps coming back into this guy's life, but he keeps missing every opportunity to ask her like, hey, what happened with us, And so that's what that story is about. And it's called The Web because there's a twist at the end, not to give too much away, but it has to do with being entangled in webs of your life and love and people that come into it. So that one, and then the third story takes place after I met a girl up here that I really, really liked. And she pretty much destroyed me too. So I've been single for like 2.5 years now, man,
These
because
bitches, dude.
it wasn't worth getting my heart. It was nuts. But so that's what that story was about at the very end, called The Gypsy and the Bear.
Ooh.
And my friend Anthony Fornoff, he's a creative as well. He's a painter, an artist. He just did his own deck of cards or something like that as well. He did the artwork for Lunar Dreams. So this one, so if you can see it, that's the Gypsy and the Bear.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so
Hell
pretty
yeah.
cool. Pretty awesome. And then there's like poems in it that reflect the state of my heart at the time. And I kind of want to read one so I can tell another story, if that's cool.
Yo, dude, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So this one's called Sunflowers of Yesterday. And then.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah. So Anthony's pretty cool.
It looks very Steven Salazar.
Yeah, it does. Actually, I thought that the same thing. I almost made t-shirts of this one or the Bear and the Gypsy. But so the poem goes, stepping into the forest, nature is her color. The trees whisper as my heart flutters. When I taste her spring, it refreshes my soul like well water and embraces safety and comfort like shade from conifers. In the morning, the sun shall rise. I open my eyes to hers. As radiant as sunflowers, her face remains like the rays of warmth. Her soul flows in my veins.
Damn, boy.
Yeah, so I wrote that because me and her used to go on these little dates to get the water out of the well because we were both hippie, like I turned into a big hippie up here. But so that's just part of that, and it was a very personal book for me to put out, but I felt like I needed to because I was going kind of crazy, and this has always been my avenue besides skateboarding. I have to write so that I can get all this stuff off my chest or I'd probably go crazy. So then now that leads me into the feed where I went back to like a novel type form. It's funny because all the characters' names in the feed I actually met up here. So like the main character's name is Raymond. He's a coworker up here. I didn't even know him. I just named the character Raymond. And then coming up here, there's a dude named Raymond that's become one of my good friends at work. So yeah, it's been crazy, man. It's been such a amazing journey so far into just having these experiences to write about, because if I don't have experiences, I can't be a writer. You have to read and experience just as much as you write and experience.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, for as a creative, it's always fun to um as a creative myself, it's always fun to talk to people like yourself. And I had just taken photos of like a chef, and it's always cool to see different people's processes and how they deal and how they manage their creativity to like spark the most in themselves. And like for you, where do you find what are some of the things that you do to keep your creativity at its peak or to maintain it and like well, we'll start with that. What are some things that you do for your creativity to like to maintain and to try to stay inspired?
Well, oh, and the reason I read that poem, so this kind of goes into it too. So at Rock and Shock at the convention, some of the ways I stay motivated is that people actually walked up to me and wanted to hear my stories, wanted to talk to me about writing or show interest. And I was so grateful and blown away. I mean, I had a line at one time with about 10 people in it just waiting to meet me. And it was crazy to be on the other side of the table. And so this girl and her boyfriend or husband walk up and she goes, "Oh, did you draw that sunflower?" And I said, "No, but
Hold
it's
on one
featured
second.
in
It
this
seems like it
book."
cut off.
It's featured in this book, Lunar Dreams, that I wrote, and
Can you
it's
hear
a
me?
poem.
Sorry,
Can
guys.
you
This
hear me?
damn Zoom. I can't hear you. I don't know what happened.
Can you
I
hear
think
me?
it might be somebody's connection.
Yeah, I think it's mine. I don't know what else I
Yeah,
can.
because you might go tell
I
have
don't
to
know
tell
what
your
else I
roommate
can
to
click
log off
out
the
of.
internet. Does he
Let me
play Call
see.
of Duty or anything?
No, 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 no. It says medium speed. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's like
Can you hear me now?
it's
Okay.
super choppy.
Huh.
Well, we'll just give it a shot because it looks like
Um,
everything else is good. So yeah, no, just go ahead and riff it, and then I think the audio on the other thing will be good. So go for it.
Okay, so yeah, standing in wait at Rock and Shock, and the girl and her boyfriend or husband come up to me and they say, "Hey, did you write or did you draw that sunflower?" I said, "No, my buddy did. He did the artwork for Lunar Dreams right here that I wrote." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'll take that print and I'll take the book, but can you write something on the back of the drawing?" I was like, "Holy, okay." I was like, "What would you like me to write?" Well, she almost started crying. She's like, "My friend's in the hospital and she really loves sunflowers." And I was like, "Oh man, okay." So I don't remember what I wrote, but it was like another poem just freehand about like being a radiant soul because the sun is still shining on you, even though whatever you're going through in the hospital and stuff. And that made my heart feel so good that I was able to help her and her friend, like special things like that keep me going. Mostly what I do and what I've noticed about myself is I don't check up on the news. I try really hard not to geek out and hang on to social media that much. I mostly come home. If my roommate's not home, I turn on music. I've been watching a lot of horror movies in general, yeah, but like I come home, I make dinner, I walk Titan, I turn on music, and I just try to stay in a stress-free environment, which lets me be able to have my thoughts wander. When I go to sleep at night, I think about my characters and I kind of fall asleep thinking of that. So when I wake up, I jot it down in my phone, So but just music, skateboarding in general too, because I didn't think I'd be skating at 30. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, how I threw my back out, and it just pumps me up to be able to still 50-50 or just ollie. And
Yeah.
I see all these new guys coming up that are like amazing skaters. I mean, did you see that guy do the freaking 50-50 handstand on Instagram? I don't remember his name, but he legit ollied into a
What is he
front
50-50?
50-50, handstand 50-50. Like he ollies front side into a front side 50, does a handstand, and then comes back out on his feet and rides away. I'll have to tag you in it, dude. It was on Thrasher,
It's too much
you
now,
know?
bro.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. And then just meeting other authors and meeting people in the community that um it's kind of funny. Like this one, I met an author. Her name's HD Scarberry. She writes romantic science fiction. So not really my forte, but I bought the book. We've been in contact for like a year or more already. And I read the first couple of pages and I sent her a message. I was like, hey, I've never read description like this ever. This is amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. And I was like, well, if you ever want to write a book together, let me know. I can do the horror side and you can do the love side. And just meeting people with a creative mindset that want to succeed all for the love of your same passion, that's what it's all about. So skateboarding was always more to me too than just a skateboard, because my parents were divorced, I needed an outlet, made friends, how we became friends, going on skate trips and just pumping each other up. It didn't matter who you were, what you believed, didn't matter about anything except just the love of skateboarding. And it just kind of followed me my whole life. Without skateboarding, I probably would have been doing other stupid stuff or just lost, not having a creative mindset.
Yeah, skateboarding is a beautiful thing, especially for creatives, because it allows you to have creativity, and it's an individual thing. When it comes to style, trick choices, all that stuff.
Oh
It's
yeah.
cool because some of my favorite people are skateboarders, like you, Steven, all my friends, like it shows another dimension of a person through their skateboarding, and it just it's an expression that you can
Hmm.
just watch, that's aside from
Yeah.
conversation or anything else. It's something that's really awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Like even when we met the Zero team, like we never would have thought that would have happened, dude. I mean, not that we idolized them, but we were so wanting to be like that. It was something different. When I first started in 2000, let's see, 2003, dude, or 2004 is how long I've been skateboarding. And I remember like people,
Hell
you
yeah.
could tell because their shoes were messed up. You could tell that they had some different about them. And then it blew up like in 2006. And now it's kind of cycling again. And it just sucks when you have like fandom people come in and try to like rip off the logos or try to do all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that it's become stale, because the skating is still excellent, but then like you've seen, the corporations have come in and it's just kind of like, oh, the love is still there, but it's the fine line between the love and the corporations trying to come in and take away from what we built as a community, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the politics of skateboard. I remember like when everything started to change when Nike got in the game, and everybody was pissed off that Nike started making shoes, because like companies like Zero and I mean not Zero, like Fallen and Circo were starting to fall off, and I remember that shit.
Yeah.
Like there was some crazy stuff going on in the skate world.
Yeah, for real. Cause Corey Duffel and Jamie Thomas have always been my top two,
Yeah,
man.
those are your dudes.
And Tommy Sandoval as well. I mean, more than half of the Zero dudes, But speaking of like the shoe sponsors and everything, I actually had a pair of Silas Baxter Neal Adidas, his first one, and I loved them. They were so good. And then
Hell
I
yeah.
used to only wear cons for like a whole year. I only wore cons, and then I found out Nike owned them, and I was like, oh man. So
Yeah,
now,
you
right
were a
now,
big
what I've been
cons
doing
guy.
is, yeah, right now I've been getting a lot of Americas. I've been back on their gig. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's good shit. Yeah, I know I haven't skated in a long time, but I really fell in love with the Vans Pro Series shit.
Oh, dude, the Gilbert Crockett's were badass. Those ones were
Oh my
so
god.
good.
Did you see that new All Right Okay video?
Yeah, what the?
Oh
I'm
my
telling
god,
you,
dude,
man, it's
I'm
just
so
too
gay for
much now.
Elijah. He's
He
so
actually
sick,
reminded
dude.
me of Dylan Reeder a little bit.
He's a little Dylan Reeder. He has a Dylan
Yeah.
Reeder was like a new era, like he was like more of a new era style, but Elijah
Uh
has
huh.
this greaser like slash, I don't know, he's so fucking cool. I remember
Yeah,
watching
out
his
of the
little
blue.
video on YouTube. I
Remember
was
when he
like,
was on
damn, he's cool as shit.
Foundation? Do you remember when he was on Foundation? He used to wear tight pants and was more punk than Greaser
He
now.
was he
Remember
was
that?
inspired by Duffel, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Duffel was one of the first ones that discovered him or helped him out. I think. I don't know. I mean, everything in the skate news is so much in your face now on Instagram, dude. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
I remember I wanted to be Chris Cole for a long time.
Oh yeah, dude. Cole's a whole nother level. A lot of those dudes are just, take a look at Day One Song, Tori Pudwill. I mean,
Yeah.
Day One Song is nuts.
It's crazy, dude.
But
Yeah, skating is insane. Steven and I are good friends now. The one that used to work at Zoomies. Him and I and Ezra will send clips back and forth, and we're like, "What in the fuck is going on? And what are
oh
they
yeah,
putting in these kids' water now, dude?"
yeah, for sure. And what's different about up here is we have some pretty good skate parks. I've been to a Northgate one in North Seattle that I really liked, but a lot of people up here freaking scooter, dude. All these little scooter people are all over the place. And this one guy did a freaking, I don't know what they call it in scooter terms, but he did a board slide down this 8 stair at the park, the 8 stair handrail, and then tail whip out. And I go, how did you have enough time to tail whip out coming out of a handrail? What the?
It's so dumb, dude. And
It
it's
is. It
funny
looks
because, like,
funny. My
when
roommate
I do
hates it.
go skate,
My roommate talks so much shit all the time. But
it's
I
just
don't know.
funny,
It's fun,
like being
dude.
out. I'll take a win if I can go out and still do like a fucking heel flip or like a backside heel or even just 50-50 a rail. I'm cool with that. Are we good?
Oh,
Can you hear me?
let's see if you can you hear me yet.
Yeah, the connection's starting to bail out a little bit.
Huh. There we go. Okay. What were you saying? Because I only heard part of it was funny.
I think I was just talking about skating. I was like, I'm just
Oh,
happy that if I can just do a heel flip or a 50-50 when I'm skating. But
yeah, dude, for sure. It's funny, like some
yeah,
kids come up and say, "Oh, is this your local?" What? I don't speak your guys' terminology anymore, dude.
it's funny. We go to the
This one
park now,
guy
and I'm the
is,
old guy. I'm like, oh shit! Like I don't
yeah,
even know
dude, it
any of these
feels
kids.
weird.
Yeah, it's cool to see
This
young
kid
kids
came
though
up to
still
me,
rip. Like Pedro, he's just like evolved. I'm like,
dude. The
what?
twins, oh my! And then
They're the
Abraham,
twins are
dude. Oh, I
so
love
good.
Abraham. Dude,
Abraham, oh my god,
Abraham's
dude! Every
gotten
time I shake,
good.
he's like he has such a style. Like they all have style. Those guys have such sick style. Like
Yeah,
I miss it too. Abraham was doing a lot of really cool stuff. Like there's all how every couple of years there's somebody who's really pushing the scene, and Abraham was
yeah.
somebody like in the last couple of years that was like bringing
Oh
lights
yeah,
out,
dude.
supporting like
To do the flats when I donated the rail over to the flats and everything. Yeah, he was one of the big enforcers of the flats, dude. That was badass. Oh
yo,
no. Can you hear me now?
yeah, this connection's starting to suck, man.
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, good.
But yeah.
We'll wrap up soon. We'll finish up this last thought. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, it's crazy. We're the old guys now, and we're evolving. But just because this connection's starting to get shitty, we'll wrap it up. But I appreciate you sharing all that stuff, man. I think a lot of people can benefit from hearing your experience. Because I think people learn from each other by listening to other people's experiences and how they navigated through it. And I'm really excited to see you still creating and expressing yourself. And next time you're back in Yuma, dude, you'll have to come in here and we'll do a podcast in real life.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I think I'm going to be down there in February for my birthday, actually, but I'm not sure yet with the state of all the chaos
When's your
in
birthday
the
again?
world.
February
So,
what?
8th.
Oh, dude, mine's the 25th, bro.
Oh
Sick,
shit.
baby. Pisces all day. Just kidding.
uh, Aquarius.
Oh shit, boy.
But
Water
yeah.
signs. We're fucking emotional.
Oh yeah. Yeah, from what I just read you out of the book.
Mariah was telling me that a couple of days. She was in here. We were taking photos. She was telling me that we were talking about shit like that. And she was telling me about that, and I was like, "Oh fuck, it's definitely me."
She actually read my tarot
Sick.
a few months ago, actually, and it was like so precise and spot on. I had to pick my jaw off the floor, dude.
Yeah. You're all damn it. I don't want to read this.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, Austin, I appreciate you, man. I'm glad to see you're doing well up there. We miss seeing your face in real life, miss seeing you at the park. But
Yeah,
thank you so
man.
much for hopping on this for me, man. And sorry about the technical difficulties, but I appreciate your time and I hope you're doing well. And hopefully we can see you soon, man.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you for having me on, and miss you too. Hopefully, I'll be down there for my birthday.
Yeah. And then before we go, if you want to tell people, you know, your Instagram, where they can get your book, where can they find your old books, all that stuff.
So right now, you can get my books on Amazon. All 3 of them are on Amazon. Also, my Instagram, _the Germinator. And you can find my big cartel there. That is a direct link to my books where I can autograph them for you. And if I sell from my big cartel, a small proceed of that goes to the German Shepherd Rescue and the Greyhound Rescue up here in Washington. And then Facebook is
cool,
just
man. Yeah, I'll be sure to drop the links in the description. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to drop the links and everything in there for you. But all right, man. I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you.
All right, cool. Yeah, thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah.
Peace.
I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right. Bye.
Peace.